Bring in the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, joins us this morning. Joe, take the first question.
Sure, Governor. What would you like to tell the great people of New York and New York State and the country about yesterday?
Good morning, Joe. That there was a terror attack that cost 8 lives, which is a terrible tragedy, but which ultimately failed because the attack was about trying to create mayhem and terror and disrupt New York and disrupt our lifestyle and disrupt what we believe in, and that failed. We had a Halloween parade last night that I went out and marched in, not because I had a great costume, but because it was about showing up and not being disrupted. That is the bottom line here, right? We're seeing an evolution in the tactics of the jihad. We saw it in 1993 was the first one with the World Trade Center bombing in New York. That was almost 35 years. And they've now evolved with the global platform through the internet to a simple device, which is rent a car, rent a truck, and create terror. We do everything we can, the best policing on the globe, an active citizenry. But at the end of the day, this is going to happen. It's happened in Germany, France. It's a global phenomenon. You can't let them win. You can't let them disrupt who you are and what you believe. We have a special burden as New Yorkers. We have this statue in our harbor that holds the torch of freedom and democracy, which is everything they oppose. So we're a natural target. But they're not going to beat us. They didn't beat us in 1993 with the World Trade Center. They didn't beat us on 9/11. They didn't beat us yesterday.
Are the president's tweets helpful, hurtful, or not impactful, given the situation?
You know, first, I think the first question, Mika, is, are they factual? Is normally the first question on the president's tweets. Yeah. But I don't think this is the time to get political. We had a policy, an immigration policy in place in the 90s. It was a bipartisan policy. It was signed by a Republican president. Yeah. There's no doubt that we have to be smarter and have more intelligence. But there's also no doubt that this is not the time to play politics. This is not the time to foment hate. This is not the time to divide. Because they all exacerbate the situation, right? This is the time to forge alliances with our allies. I spoke to Prime Minister Netanyahu this morning, who's lived with this for a very long time. This is about information sharing. This is about coalitions. This is about offering people hope and not spreading fear. And that's what I'm trying to do. And different officials will handle it differently. But I believe it's about hope. I believe it's about love. I believe it's about understanding. And I believe it's about strength and not letting them win.
Willie Geist. Willie?
Governor Cuomo, it's Willie Geist here in Lower Manhattan. We were talking earlier this morning about the evolution of the threat, the terrorist threat in America, but specifically here in New York, where 16 years ago, a couple of blocks from where I am, people who were trained over the course of years, they were recruited, millions of dollars were spent to pull off an operation where people could fly commercial aircraft into buildings. What we saw yesterday and what we've seen in Nice and Barcelona and Stockholm and Charlottesville, by the way, yesterday, a guy rented a car in Passaic, New Jersey, a truck at a Home Depot, pulled it off the West Side Highway, and killed 8 people. So to New Yorkers, to people who live in our state and our city, what do you say? What do you say to them that says, maybe we'll be able to stop this? Maybe we'll be able to prevent this new kind of terrorism?
Yeah, well, Willie, it's interesting. I agree with you basically on the evolution of it. I think a lot of it has been about the internet and an ability to get beyond the geography, where they now don't have to train on a camp. They can put it up on the internet and it's spread. Part of it is they have a very simple playbook, right? Rent a car, rent a truck, drive into a crowd. But let's not overstate the case either. We had one of the first terrorist attacks in New York, 1993 World Trade Center bombing, which was just a car driven in to the basement of the World Trade Center with explosives, and it killed 6 people. That was 35 years ago. Let's not overstate the evolution, but they have gotten it down to a very simple template. In the quote-unquote lone wolf scenario, it is very hard to police because you don't have social media contacts, you don't have a lot of associations, you don't have the intelligence that would put this person on your radar screen. And that is what we are dealing with globally, not just in New York, right? As you said, that's been the pattern over the past several occurrences. And in truth, one would expect that to continue. What do? The best intelligence that you can gather by cooperating with our allies and having all the good guys work together. The best police force at that time, the best security measures, and then ultimately, you don't let them win because you have to let them win. They want to instill terror. Only you can give them that power. We lost 8 people. We're sad. We cry. But you didn't instill terror. You failed. We got up. We went about our business. We had a Halloween parade. We're going to school today. We're going to work today. You failed. That is the ultimate vindication.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, thank you very much.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.